I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, August the 4th, brought to you in part by Performance Livestock Analytics. Manage your cattle feeding operation anywhere, anytime with Performance Beef. Visit performancelivestockanalytics.com. Processing the processors. At least at Tyson anyway, and that's the first one, probably the others to follow pretty soon, but if you're an employee of Tyson Foods, one of 139,000 of them, you're going to get the COVID shot whether you want it or not. And when you come into work, you get close to the time clock, if you see some panels set up around there, you might want to smell a rat, maybe get a little nervous, because soon you're going to find yourself in a half circle tub with solid sides, and then you go a certain amount of ways, and then you hear something bang, and then you can't back up anymore, and you're in the chute, and you're going through. It's unclear whether they're going to catch everybody's heads or not, or if they're just going to bunch them up real tight and try to give all the shots there. But if they are going to go ahead and ear tag everybody, probably going to be easier just to go ahead and catch everybody's head. And get them in there and give them that shot, and I wouldn't think they would be using hot shots, because you can't use those to unload hogs or cattle anymore at those big plants like that. So probably mostly just going to be rattle paddles. So if that spooks you, you're going to get through there pretty fast. But I think it's kind of ridiculous that just because you decide to take a job, you're going to have to take a shot whether you want one or not. Just think about the illegal immigrants that have recently come into the country and get a job at one of those Tyson plants. They think, hey, we made it home free. We got across the border. We didn't have to get dipped or anything. Didn't get ear tagged there. But as soon as we get the job that we want, now we're going to have to go through this process. But I don't know what kind of a country we're living in anymore when you have to do that. Yeah. People know that they need to get vaccinated, and if they want to get vaccinated, they know where to go to do it. You don't have to force people to do that kind of stuff. And what does it help? You're still going to have to wear a mask. We've proven that you can still get sick if you get the shot, and it doesn't change your life, other than it makes the government feel a little better that they've imposed something on you. And it's like I said, it's like Simon Says, the government tells you to pat your head with one hand and rub your belly with the other, and you have to do it. If they said Simon Says, and if it's the government, that's Simon evidently. But government, we thought that if you owned rental property, you was going to start getting your deadbeats out of your rented space, but they extended the moratorium on eviction. So they said that was just going to happen in the worst places of the new strain of the COVID, which adds up to about 90% of your rental space there, up until October the 3rd. And I guess the government, it kind of reminds you of those stories about the governor of Louisiana back in the old days. They'd come into a general store out in the country having a rally or something and just start handing people free stuff because they feel like they can do that. But it's really getting ridiculous, and makes you wonder what kind of a country we're living in here. But I got a ton of cattle market information to give you, and I know that's what you tuned in for. I hope so, and you're going to be glad you clicked in, because I got a lot of it. Let's talk about the board first. Let's talk about August live cattle futures up $1.12, and we're feeling like our cattle futures are tipping a little bit. We're getting up here pretty high, and anytime you start talking about pandemic, we start talking about lockdowns, we start talking about people not being able to go into restaurants in New York City unless they can prove that they've had their vaccine. Those things kind of work against your cattle, and especially in Chicago. And I wouldn't be surprised to see us wake up one morning and these things are down a ton. But they found some positives this week, and there is a lot of positive fundamentals out there. But August live cattle up $1.12 at 123 1/4. October up 87 cents on Tuesday at 128.15. You go on your back months, they were down a dime to up 70, so not too bad. August feeder cattle up 65 cents at 158.90, and indeed your corn was cheaper on Tuesday December new crop corn was down 7.5 cents at 5.51 3/4, and it seems like it's kind of staying right in there, and it's going to stay right in that area, $5.50 a bushel, until we start seeing some yield reports whenever we get into harvest. But you know, the corn's pretty much made. It's tasseled out everywhere. We're just going to have to wait and see what the test results are on your yields. September feeder cattle up 55 cents at 162.52. You look on your back months of feeder cattle, down 27 cents, which was the farthest out traded month, to up 65, which was closer up front. But things look pretty rosy out there, guys, and you can order cattle, you can buy cattle that will make money right now if you want to do it. You know, buy light calves and make yearlings out of them, or turn them out if you have a place to put them on wheat or something like that. You can lock them in right now. You can order them, lock them in, make money. There's not that many times that you can see an opportunity like that, and I think you guys sure need to take it. Fat cattle trade, we've kind of established the market already on Tuesday, which we didn't establish it till real late in the week last week, but Iowa had 2,700 head of confirmed sales on Tuesday, 123 to 125, and that's pretty much steady with the top end of last week's price spread, and 197 dressed, and that'd be a buck higher. Nebraska, 1,300 head confirmed on Tuesday, 123 to 125, and 197 also. Kansas did not have, there were some rumored sales, but we didn't have any confirmed sales in Kansas. But luckily, Consolidated Beef Producers still working on the Texas cash pool. They're not getting near the amount of volume that they want, but 255 head. They had 3 different packers put in bids, and 120 was the top bid, and they took it. So, you know, that's a buck better than last week. So, you know, that gives us an idea that we've kind of regained what we had there, you know, the previous week before last. But, you know, we got to hold in there. But, you know, you look at these back months on your live cattle, they're in there 130 something. And I've said it before, I got to see 130 before I believe it. I don't know how you get to 130 when even in the best of times here of late, and we've got no leverage and no negotiated trade. If we even get close to 125, it peters out right away. How the hell we're going to get to 130, I don't know. And how we're going to get to the top side of the 130s, I don't believe it, and I don't think it's ever going to happen. But your biggest, you know, especially your corporate feeders, but your biggest feeders, they don't care if it ever gets there anyway. It's all about the basis. So they'll just hedge them at that. And worry about the basis when it gets there. But I don't know. You know, I think we're looking at a rosy futures market out there, even though I realize that we're going into a period of having lighter supplies, and we should have continued good demand. But who knows what's going to happen whenever they get all this fear-mongering going again on the COVID things. But you know, it looks awful good out there, and I think guys should be taking advantage of that. Box beef cutout values up again. They just keep going up, up, up. Now they're going to likely get into some more panic buying type things. But, you know, heck, it's already getting back up there kind of where it was, you know, right before it fell down there to that seasonal low. But choice cuts on Tuesday afternoon, $285.84, up $4.84. Selects $267.49, up $4.11. Your drop value is up well over $14 now, $14.20, and that's about twice what it is during normal times. So your packers making money at every turn. Look at what else is going on. Don't forget about Joplin Regional Stockyard Special Cow and Bull Sale here today on Wednesday at 4:30. They're looking at having about 1,200 head, and it's going to be a good one. They got several big dispersals in there, and they've got several good breeding bulls there that'll be guaranteed too. So get on to your special cow sale, cow and bull sale, Joplin Regional Stockyard. You can view that at dvauction.com. Also, I want to talk about Thursday, August the 5th here at 5 o'clock Eastern in the evening time. That's Eastern time, 4 o'clock Central. Central Virginia Cattlemen's Association is going to be holding one of their tele-auctions at Tucker Livestock in Radiant, Virginia. Now that's one of those big sales where they have a lot of loads put together there, or not put together loads, they're just a bunch of loads of cattle. They'll be as good a quality as you get anywhere, guys. And you know, and everybody, people that get cattle out of Virginia, they don't complain about the quality ever, because the quality is as good as anywhere. They complain about the shrink coming out of there, but when you're buying them off these board type sales, it's just a regular type delivery like you would have off of a video sale, or if you bought cattle private treaty anywhere else. But on that sale, that Central Virginia Cattlemen's Association sale, the Maxey Farms are going to have 5 lots on there. And I tell you what, they've been AIing their cows. They got like 700 head of cows. Angus with just a tick of Simmental in them, so just enough to make them good and give them that stretch that you guys like. But they've got 5 lots on there, and they are really top quality. But if you get on to dvauction.com and look up that Central Virginia Cattlemen's Association sale that's going to be Thursday, August the 5th at 5 o'clock at Eastern, you can go on there and look at those lots, and they'll have video footage on there. And their lots that they're included in are 1, 10, 23, 32, and 37. They'll be as good a cattle as you can get anywhere, and be sure to go on there and bid on those cattle. Let's look at your feeder cattle market, your real-time index on DV Auction. Late in the day on Tuesday at 154.83, that was up $1.88, so we had some smoky sales again. Remember last week it was on Monday when people lost their minds. This week so far it's been on Tuesday when folks lost their minds, with the board being up some, but not big like it was a week ago Monday, but still pretty crazy out there. Ozarks Regional Stockyards, West Plains, Missouri, 3,000 head. They have good runs all the time. And I tell you what, we're proud at DV Auction to broadcast the sales at Ozarks Regional Stockyard. That is a top 10 sale year in and year out for receipts, guys. And it sits just north of your Arkansas border in south central Missouri. Didn't have a good test of yearlings, but the calves sold mostly steady with spots as much as $4 higher. But I specifically want to talk about Saturday, this Saturday, August the 7th at 5 o'clock p.m., 5 o'clock in the evening, and that'll be Central Time. They've got a special cow sale there with about 1,250 cows, and you think, oh my God, we're going to be up all night long going to that sale at West Plains, or watching it on dvauction.com when they start that late with cows. And I talked to Randy Hoover, not this time, guys. He's got big dispersals. He's going to be selling big bunches of cows, and it ain't going to take that long to get through them. One particular string they got in there is a 500 head string. It's a sellout deal of home-raised Angus cows there, and they're 2 to 7 years old. They'll have them bunched up where you can buy them. You'll really like it. They're mostly all third stagers, fall calvers, guys, and they are bred to those 44 farm bulls. You know what that includes? That includes the buyback program that they have. And I tell you what, the cattle won't bring any more anywhere than those calves whenever you have them. The last set of calves that they had off these cows were sold May 25th on the in-house video there in West Plains, and they had 480-pound steer calves, a couple hundred of them, bring 190, 150, weighing nearly 5, guys, and that's back before these calves started getting high. So, you know, you think, man, I'd like to get in on some of these program cattle, some kind of a buyback program or a deal that might make some money, but I don't really know how to get started. Here's how you get started, right here. You got an opportunity to buy them. 500 of them. They're home-raised cows. They've never left the farm. This will be the first trip anywhere. All bred to these 44 farms bulls. And I tell you what, that's an opportunity knocking, guys. You can get on to dvauction.com, view and bid on there. You can view, call somebody in the sale and have them bid for you if you don't feel comfortable doing it online, or get an order in there, or drive to West Plains, Missouri. But that's a good deal Saturday, this Saturday evening, August the 7th, 5 p.m. How about some other sales that happened on Tuesday? Kimball Livestock Exchange in Kimball, South Dakota had about 2,400 head of feeders for their sale, and a smoky sale. I pulled up the automated market report from Kimball there and pulled out the best tested weights. 676 head of the 8-weight steers averaged 838 at 167.54. Goodness, that's all of them. That's the weighted average price on all your 8 weights, and had nearly 700 of them at over 167.50. That's kind of what I've been talking about, this crazy stuff. 548 head of the 9-weight steers averaged 939 at 153.33. And then the best tested weights of heifers, 575 head of 8-weight heifers in Kimball, South Dakota. They averaged 854 at 143.14. Things were getting pretty wild in Fredonia, Kansas. I talked to some of my contacts there, and they said they practically had a gun and a knife fight break out there at Fredonia. Brad Hahn was egging it on, had about 2,000 head of feeder cattle there. And look at this market report just on your best tested weights of steers. Look at the trend out there on the right hand side. Look how much higher it was on all your weights there. And that's what I'm talking about, is how well these cattle are selling these sales, and now they sold on Tuesday. I want to talk to you about Beaver County Stockyards. I told you I was going up there and we were going to install a system in there. My buddy Dusty Markham that works for DV Auction came and helped me do that, because he's a lot better at that kind of stuff than I am. But Beaver County Stockyards, I can't tell you how impressed I am at a sale that is literally in no man's land. It's a very rural area there, but when you're there, you get to thinking about how far it is to other places. It's not that far to anywhere, but it's in the middle of nowhere. But they got a hell of a good sale there. First class facilities, nice people to deal with. They got a good restaurant in there. They got a nice big ring. And they had a lot of buyers bidding, but it's a good place to sell cattle, good place to buy cattle. They had an in-house video there with about 7 lots. It went off without a hitch. We're going to be broadcasting them from now on every Tuesday on dvauction.com, and whenever they have video lots, we'll have those up there too. But they had a long string of yearlings come in there, 10 loads of them. And here's a look at them. They averaged 823 pounds with an average price of $160.25 in the Oklahoma Panhandle, guys. But the best quote that I saw anywhere on Tuesday in your Zach Tran top quote for the day, come out of Tri-State Livestock Exchange in Ray, Colorado, 53 head, 953 pound steers, bring $157. And that's your feeder flash for Wednesday.